Hey, what's up? My name's Joyce. I'm a filmmaker and photographer based out of Washington, and today I'm just gonna kind of tell you guys the story of how I got started and some things I learned along the way. I'm hoping with this YouTube channel I can give you guys some tips, some behind the scenes, and all kinds of things about hiking and packing and outdoor travel and just things like that that I'm interested in. So if any of that stuff interests you, feel free to hit the subscribe button and follow along. Let's go! So, who am I? I'm an outdoor explorer, an adventurer, and someone who hates getting up early. I grew up in Washington State, which in my opinion is the best state. When I was a kid, I spent a lot of time hiking with my dad and my brother. As I got older, I found that I was the happiest when I was just outdoors doing something, whether that was making bike jumps, wakeboarding, or just having fun with my friends. Eventually, I got my first camera when I was around 14, and I started shooting videos of basically whatever my friends and I were doing in the summer, and I just honestly kind of never stopped doing that. After that, I went to college and got a degree in broadcasting and video production.
I'm Reed Vito.
And I'm Joyce. This is the first of 4 GUTV shows covering all things March Madness.
This is when I really started to learn about how to tell a story through video. So I was behind the camera, I was in front of the camera. It was just an amazing time and a really great experience. After that, I graduated and then I ended up moving to Florence, Italy, where I worked as a tour guide for a year. And if you're thinking that sounds crazy, I can assure you it was even crazier than you can imagine. I was so broke, barely getting by, but I made it work. I met some amazing people and was able to travel all over the world. It was during this time that I started shooting and editing just about every day, and I really didn't know what I was doing, but it was fun and I was learning a ton as I was just shooting. At this point, I just kind of knew that I wanted to pursue a career in photography and filmmaking, so I really just started thinking about how I could do that. I moved back to Seattle and I started working for a really cool production company, and I learned a ton while I was working here. We were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We were in helicopters, chasing cars and Ferraris. It was awesome. So it was a really great experience, but after 2 years, I just kind of felt the urge to get back out there and to travel and just to pursue this dream I had of working for myself as a photographer and filmmaker full time. So I quit that job. I ended up booking a plane ticket to Peru. I spent a few weeks hiking around the Andes with a couple of my buddies, and it was wild. It was so fun. We were doing some crazy stuff over there. It was one of the best trips of my life, and once I came back from this trip, I ended up creating a short film that eventually went on to be one of the finalists for the Rome Outdoor Adventure Film Contest. And this just really boosted my confidence as a filmmaker. I started to reach out to a lot more travel and outdoor adventure brands, and this eventually led me to start working with a really cool travel company that I got to travel around with as their photographer and filmmaker. I got to go with them to Thailand, and I also went with them to Iceland and was just shooting all kinds of content for them. It was a blast. So things were going great at this time. I was actually gearing up to go to a trip with them to Colombia, and then the pandemic hit. Things got crazy. I had a big shoot in Colombia that I was supposed to go to, and that got canceled, and then shoots just started getting canceled left and right. Luckily for me, I got a lot of work just working as an editor, so I was doing all kinds of random projects for people. Some I was just getting off Craigslist, all kinds of random stuff. And I really was wondering if I should quit, if I should get a more stable job, but I ended up sticking it out, hanging in there, and started to just work on reaching out to outdoor specific brands and doing photo shoots and small video shoots for them. And that eventually took off for me. I started to get more and more outdoor brands. I started to get brands reaching out to me, and it was pretty cool. It was fun to be able to combine my passion of shooting, creating content with my other passion of traveling, being outdoors, hiking, and so I was kind of able to merge the two. If I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. Hang in there, don't give up, and you've got this.